Hello everyone, welcome to Aptitude Jab. This set from CAT 2017 Slot 1 DILR says that a new airline company is planning to start operations in a country. The company has identified 10 different cities which they plan to connect through their network to start with. So they have connected 10 different cities. The flight duration between any pair of cities will be less than 1 hour. To start operations, the company has to decide on a daily schedule. The underlying principle that they are working on is the following. Now, this underlying principle is important because in all the questions they have talked about this underlying principle. So let us understand what does this principle say. It says that any person staying in any of these 10 cities should be able to make a trip to any other city in the morning and should be able to return in by the evening of the same day. So a person should be able to go to any other city and should be able to return by the evening. Now, based on this, we have to answer the questions. The first question says if the underlying principle is to be satisfied in such a way that the journey between any two cities can be performed only using only direct flights. Any two cities, we should have only direct flights. We have to find the minimum number of direct flights to be scheduled. Let us try to understand. Suppose there were only two cities, A and B. How many flights do we need from between A and B to follow this underlying principle? Suppose a person has to go from A to B in the morning, so they will take one flight from A to B in the morning, and another person has to travel from B to A in the morning. So we need two morning flights. Now, in the evening, a person should be able to return from B to A, and a person should be able to return from A to B in the evening. So we need evening flights also. So we need a total of four flights between a pair of cities. So we need four flights, two for morning and two evening. Between two cities. Now we will find that how many cities are connected. So we have 10 cities and we need to select two out of 10 cities. So in how many ways can we select two cities out of 10 cities is 10C2, which is basically 10 into 9 by 2. We have 45 connections. So you can say that there are 45 connections. And for each connection, we need four flights, two morning flights and two evening flights. So 45 connections and four flights, that is 180. Now this is the minimum number of flights. We can send more flights also. We can send two flights in the morning, three flights in the morning. But we need to find the minimum number. That will be four flights per connection and 45 connections. So 180 flights is the answer. Suppose 3 of the 10 cities are to be developed as hubs. A hub is a city that is connected with every other city by direct flights each way, both in the morning as well as in the evening. The only direct flights that will be scheduled are originating or terminating in one of the hubs. So basically, now suppose we have three cities. Let us say X, Y, Z are three cities. Previously, X can be connected to, let us say, A, X was connected to B, A was connected to B, A was connected with C, B was connected with C. Now that is not possible. Now, if these are hubs, so A will be connected to the hub, B will be connected to the hub, C will be connected to the hub. So all will be connected only with the hubs, not among themselves. So these conditions are now removed. Now we need to find the minimum number of direct flights that need to be scheduled and the underlying principle should be satisfied. So we have these are the hubs and there are 7 other cities also. Now all of these 7 should be connected to X. All of these 7 should be connected to Y also. And all of these 7 should be connected to Z also. So we have these connections. All these 7 cities will be connected to X, Y, Z. And the hubs will also be connected among themselves. So X will be connected to Y will be connected to Z, and Z will be connected to X. So how many connections we have? So X has 7 connections, Y has 7 other connections, and Z has 7 other connections plus 1, 2, 3. So we have a total of 24 connections. And the underlying principle which we discussed in the previous question, that we need 2 morning and 2 evening flights. Okay, so we need 2 morning and 2 evening flights. So 4 flights per connection. So we need a total of 96 flights for this condition. Suppose the 10 cities are divided into 4 distinct groups, G1, G2, G3 and G4. So we have to make 4 groups, G1, G2, G3 and G4, having 3, 3, 2 and 2 cities respectively. So 3 cities, 3 cities, 2 cities and 2 cities. G1 consists of cities named A, B, C. So G1 has 3 cities, A, B and C. Further, suppose that direct flights are allowed only between 2 cities satisfying one of the following. So what are the direct flight conditions? Both cities are in G1. So if both cities are in G1, so the connections will be like AB, BC or AC. 3 connections between A and any other city in G2. So we will have, there are 3 cities in G2 and this is A. So A will be connected to these 3 different cities. So we have 3 connections between B and any city in G3. So G3 has 2 cities and B is connected to both the cities. So 2 connections here, and C and any city in G4. So C is connected to the 2 cities of G4. So we have 2 connections. So total we need 10 connections. And then the minimum number of flights satisfying the underlying principle. For underlying principle, we need 4 flights per connection. So we need 4 flights per connection and there are 10 connections. 3 connections between satisfying the first condition A, B, B, C and AC. 3 connections for this condition. 2 connections for condition number 3 and 2 connections for condition number 4. So 4 into 10, we need 40 flights. Next question. Suppose the 10 cities are divided into 4 distinct groups. So till here the conditions remain the same. Let us read this extra condition. It says, however, due to operational difficulties at A, it was later decided that only flights that would operate at A would be those to and from B. Okay. So A will be connected. Now in this case, A was connected to B, B was connected to C, and A was connected to C. Right? Now A to C is not connected. Then it says cities in G2 would have to be assigned to G3 or G4. Now G2 does not exist. So cities are assigned to G3 and G4. Now there were 3 cities in G2. We can assign them arbitrarily in any manner. So let us say out of these 3, so there were 2 cities. So let us say 2 went to G3 and 1 went to G4. It does not matter how do you assign. Okay. You can take all 3 to one of these. You can take 2 to one and 1 to any of the cities. The answer will not be impacted. So now let us say G3 has 4 cities and G4 has 3 cities. Okay. Now we need to find the maximum reduction in the number of direct flights as compared to the situation before the operational difficulties arose. So before the operational difficulties, there were 40 flights. And now let us find the number of flights. So we have 2 connections here. This condition does not exist because A is not connected to any other city. Between B and G3, we have 4 connections. Between C and G4, we have 3 connections. So total we have 9 connections and we have 4 flights per connection. So we have 36 flights. Okay. Now we have 36 flights. Before the difficulties, there were 40 flights. Now we have just 36 flights. So the reduction is of 4 flights. So the answer is 4 flights. So this was the solution to the set and the answers to the questions.